Friend of the channel, Mace. Friend of the channel. Mace is a friend of the channel, man. Um, Mace on a recent episode of It Is What It Is with Cameron touched on Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen. Now, for anyone who is unaware, it is being speculated that Gisele Bündchen was in a relationship with her trainer while she was still married to Tom Brady. Now, whether that was a catalyst for them eventually becoming divorced, I'm not sure. I don't think that that is public knowledge. But what is public knowledge is that she had this trainer well before they got divorced. They ended up getting divorced, and now she is with the trainer. Those are facts. And so Mace has some thoughts on this. And of course, we got some thoughts on what Mace had to say, or rather, our thoughts on this particular situation. So, Mace has some advice for men in general, using Tom Brady in this situation as a case study. So, we're going to provide a little context here, real quick. This says Mace is someone who does not mince words when he feels a particular way about a topic. In fact, recently he has been able to speak freely on his show, It Is What It Is. Overall, the show with Cameron has been a massive success. They talk about a plethora of sports topics, and they will even move the conversation to pop culture if they have to. Most recently, they spoke on the Tom Brady rumors regarding Gisele Bündchen. It was alleged that she was cheating on Brady with her personal trainer, and as you can imagine, Mace had a lot to say on this. In fact, the artist issued a warning to men with girlfriends and wives. Essentially, he said to be wary if a woman ever hires a male personal trainer. So those are some quotes, but we don't need to read the quotes here. We'll just go ahead and play the clip.
Whenever you break up with somebody, it's like a death. You go through the grieving process, you get angry, all of those things. That's just what they say. But to say that he finally realized she's cheating, did he not know before? Killer, what do you think? Did he not know she was cheating before? If Let me tell you fellas something. If the girl, before you go, Killer, if the girl got a trainer, number one, like she could have got a female trainer. So the fact that she got a male trainer is already kind of like a red flag. And if he wear those kind of pants, pause that are like the dry fit Nike pants, you know what I'm talking about, Killer? That's really tight. And then he want to wear the shirt, pause the shirt. You want to probably smash it because he's constantly telling her, "Go down, get up," go deeper. You know what I'm saying? So in her mind, she's used to hearing him say all of this. It's gonna be almost like he's planning Brady's demise by doing this. Just think about this. Go deeper, go down. Let me stretch you. All this, and he constantly saying this. He's setting up. Look, Stat is laughing. Put the camera on Stat.
I'm laughing for different reasons. I'll let y'all.
All right. So that was good stuff there. And just for a little more on this, just for a little more on this real quick. So this is from page 6. Says Tom Brady reportedly has accepted ex-wife Gisele Bündchen's romance with Joaquin Valente began. Well, he's accepted ex-wife Gisele Bündchen's romance with Joaquin Valente began years ago. According to the Daily Mail, the former NFL star is learning to adapt to the new dynamic his family is now in after Page Six exclusively reported that the supermodel and her jiu-jitsu trainer were a couple and are, quote, deeply in love. Tom has been dating and is all about growing from his relationship with Gisele and moving it to a place where they can co-parent. Though an insider told people that Bündchen and Valente did not begin dating until June 2023, 8 months after Brady and the mom of two finalized their divorce, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneers quarterback reportedly isn't buying her timeline. If she wants to have people think she has been dating Joaquin only since June, so be it. But they have been together longer and they aren't taking it slow. Tom has accepted it, the source told Daily Mail. So, at least what is being reported publicly is Brady believes, at least, that this is something that was taking place long before they became divorced in the first place. It's just more appropriate for them to go public with it now because they are officially no longer married. And then you saw what Mace had to say there about your wife or your girlfriend or your woman getting a male trainer and how that's a red flag. So what say you on this particular situation? You ride with what Mace had to say?
Now, oh yes, I agree with that. And again, man, this guy, uh, he really is a preacher. He's a man of the people. Uh, what Kyrie said, a voice for the voiceless, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, listen. Um so man, I hate what this world's become. I can't even say what I want to say without having a caveat and qualify my way through it. So I'm gonna just say it straight up. Hopefully people just catch on. All right, so I agree with his premise here. All right, I believe in a perfect world that a woman who is married to a man would have the respect to not have a male trainer. Now, I understand that male trainers are just doing their jobs, stretching them, working them out, encouraging them, everything that your husband should be doing. So, I get it. They're just doing their jobs. But I'm sorry. If you're going to have a trainer, ma'am, if you want to do this respect thing, if you want me to respect you, please respect me. Don't have a male trainer. No, I'm not being insecure. Shit happens. So it's crazy I had to say that. I didn't even want to go there, but shit
Well,
happens.
that's what they'll tell you is that if you
Yeah,
can't handle it, you're insecure, right?
that's what I'm saying. It's sorry that I'm sad that I even have to qualify this. It's all about respect, though. Because women love to holler them things, but if roles were reversed, I love to do that. If roles were reversed, and so if you have a masseuse person, chiropractor, female, somebody doing your hair, female, yeah, sorry, just respect my set. And honestly, I don't really feel like this is a hard request. Maybe I might have a hard time with the eyebrows. I be hearing stuff, they be wanting to go to guys because they be arching crazy. But everything else, man, it's one of them things where I still feel like it's one of those things where, hey, just respect the set. Just go get a woman, go whoop de whoop, you know what I'm saying? Do your thing, and then come on back home. There's a science to what he was talking about as far as giving her commands. This is the last thing I'll say, and I'll let you go. But one more stretch, stand up. All right, get over there, run over here. One thing that he's doing is being a leader or whatever, but he's dictating to her. I don't know how far the etymology goes on this, but the word dictate has the word dick in it. and what's going on there is when you dictate to a woman, she loves to take orders. That's why women are great in the corporate space. Oh, here he goes with his misogyny. And it's just like, look, the corporate space is all about following rules, following laws. The school system is all about following rules and following laws. Women like to follow things. It's not a bad thing. It's just a trait of a woman. That's one of their superpower attributes. They like to listen and follow instructions. So that's why they excel in all of these areas. So when she goes to a personal trainer and he's telling her what to do, they spend so much time together. They talk about problems like a cab driver. Like they be talking like a therapist. So it's one of those situations where it could get a little too close. So Mace, I agree with his premise here. It's just one of those things where if we're playing the respect game, and look, it even happened to Tom Brady, y'all. Captain America.
Yes.
All right. Arguably the greatest football player ever in many circles. You know what I'm saying? Endorsements, wealth, he's got it all. Now, granted, she's got it all too, financially at least. But still, it's one of those situations where you can be all American Captain America, man, and still have this happen to you if you don't follow the right protocols. Protocol here, I'm sorry, you going to a gym? Okay, okay. Who's your trainer? Okay, yeah. What's his name? Eduardo. What's his suave ass name is?
Joaquin.
Joaquin. Joaquin the jujitsu. No, you're not seeing him. All right, go to Susan over there next to the water cooler. So, what are your thoughts, sir, on Mace's sermon? Do you agree that she crossed the line just by even having a male trainer, or do you think that's a little archaic?
Nah, I'm with you. But as we have talked about on this channel many, many times, in the modern society, men are not allowed to have standards or principles. Only women are. Whenever a man tries to suggest where he draws the line in the sand, that becomes unacceptable because it's an indication of your insecurity and your lack of manhood and fortitude. You should be okay with whatever it is that I want. That's the true sign of a strong man is to be okay with me having this male trainer who does want to smash. And see the thing about and see the thing about it is you was that last topic or this, I think it was this topic when you said in a perfect world, right? So
Oh, that
in
was
a
something.
perfect world, in a perfect world, men have a code. And well, I don't know why Siri chimed in. In a perfect world, men have a code that they live by. One of those codes being you don't mess around with another man's woman. Like in a perfect world, men understand and honor that code. In 2024, men do not understand and honor that code. So you can have a guy who knows you, who knows your girl, and if your girl steps to him, he will take advantage of the opportunity. He will. I don't trust these guys because these guys don't have a code. Like honestly, unless I know you from, I have to really know you. Like it would have to be you or D Money or McCall or my or Lataris or one of the men in my family, or you got to be a guy who comes from a generation, like you got to be a baby boomer, you got to be 60 plus for me to truly believe that you honor said code. But if you just a dude and I don't know you and you're an acquaintance, no, bro, I don't trust you. You will sleep with my girl. You will, because these dudes don't care. They don't care. They'll do it. So, all of these women walking around out here who want to call a man out for being insecure because he has an issue with his woman having a male trainer, calling a guy insecure, that guy will sleep with you. He will. He will. So
They know
I'm the
that.
insecure. Yeah, and they know it. So I'm the insecure one because I know that this guy will have sex with you if given the opportunity. These guys are not trustworthy.
No,
Men do not
you're
have a
you're
code that they
insecure because
live
you
by.
know. You're insecure because you know that he'll
Right.
have
Yeah.
sex.
How dare I know this? You know? And see, that's one of the primary problems that men are afflicted with nowadays is the lack of a code to stand by. No principles, no ethics, no morals. I'll sleep with your girl knowingly. These dudes don't give a damn. So of course I don't want you doing it unless I know this dude and I can vouch for him and I trust. That's a very strong word. I don't use that word lightly. Trust that he will not betray me. I'm going to take those measures because that's my responsibility as someone who is trying to preserve the sanctity of this relationship. That's my job. If you can't respect that, we have no problem. We have no reason being together in the first place. Honestly. And like you said, this is Tom Brady. If it can happen to Tom Brady, who can't it happen to? That's how you know there's no code. You don't think this guy was training Gisele in the house that they own together?
I was gonna say he violated, bro. This guy violated, man.
Yeah. Talk about being a line stepper.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with Mace all the way. Um, at least based upon the various aspects of this story that are being played out publicly, I understand what Mace is talking about. It doesn't fly. If we lived in simpler times where men were more trustworthy and stood on principle, I can understand this notion that a man should be okay with these sorts of things, but we don't live in those times anymore. If these guys detect in even a remote scintilla of issues going on between a dude that he knows and his girl seems even remotely vulnerable, he's going to explore the possibility at least. At least. I'm not going to risk that. No way, no how. And yeah, it's like, well, if you holding it down and you really trust your girl, you should know that she ain't gonna take it there. No, that's not her job. That's my job. That's my responsibility.
Right.
Period. So this stinks all the way around. And the last thing that I'll say before I kick it back to you, it's stories like this that inform me on why ultimately I had to train my brain on not feeling badly whenever I broke it off with a girl, whenever I broke it off with a chick, a woman, whatever you want to call her. Like back when I was younger, I used to really feel guilty whenever I broke up with somebody because she's all upset. We ain't together no more. She's crying, going through all of this shit. And I feel guilty. It's like, damn, I really did mess this girl up psychologically. She felt like we was going to be together, right? I really used to feel bad about that. And as I got older and I started to do this more often, I realized I really don't have a reason to feel bad. Like, what are the things that I should actually feel bad for? Like, did I actually cheat on you? Did I abuse you physically and mainly physically? Because what's emotional? I don't know. But did I abuse you mentally and emotionally? Did I actually cheat on you? Did I give you an STD? Right? Did I do any of those things? If the answer is no, 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 all I'm feeling guilty for at the end of the day is I disappointed your expectations. I hurt your feelings. And the reason why I stopped caring about that is because I realized at the end of the day, these women are going to bounce back much faster than me anyway. So why should I care? Like, these women all got guys that they're communicating with on a regular basis. The minute that you're not with somebody anymore, here comes the next guy up to bat. They always have options. They always rebound faster than us. Always, always. So ultimately, even though it didn't work out between me and her, it's gonna work out with the next guy in all likelihood. You already have in mind who the next guy is in the event that your current situation doesn't work out. You know who this person is. You communicate with them on and off right now as it is anyway, despite
Hey,
the fact that
you talking too loud, bro. You talking too
I'm
loud.
just saying. Despite the fact that you're with me, you're already talking to this guy on and off as it is. Am I wrong or am I right about this?
Hey, man, this is
So
all
at the
facts.
end of the day, I had to stop caring about violating her expectations because she's going to rebound faster than I am. The next guy is going to come around for her quicker than the next girl will come around for me. So what is there truly for me to be guilty about when I really truly didn't damage her? There is no reason for Gisele Bündchen to have any sympathy in this regard. She's already rebounded. Now, granted, we're talking about Tom Brady. He is Captain America, so he's already been doing his thing with models and all of that kind of stuff. But in the macro sense, in terms of how these types of situations generally play out for people not named Tom Brady and Gisele Bündchen, oh, she's always going to rebound much quicker than you. And it don't got to be the trainer. It can be her accountant. It can be her gynecologist. It can be her dentist. It can be her doctor. It can be the dude who served her food last week at the restaurant. These dudes are all over the place, waiting in the woodwork to pounce on their opportunity as soon as they see an opportunity.
Savage.
So, what reason is there for me to really feel bad about any of this stuff? So I feel, at the end of the day, if this stuff is alleged, if this alleged stuff turns out to be true, I feel for Brady because I'm also always going to feel for the guy who, you know, got ran roughshod in the aftermath of a divorce, even though he can bounce back because Tom Brady plays by different rules than JV wins, of course. But at the end of the day, it looks as though she had her ace in the hole. And because she had her ace in the hole, I don't give a damn how the fallout of their divorce plays out. She had her ace in the hole. She's good. Just like so many of these other women out here in these streets have their ace in the hole. And so ultimately they'll be good too.
Yeah, man, this is some wild stuff, bro. New agery. You can't. It's hard to maneuver, bro. The sanctity of things
It doesn't
aren't.
exist.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not there, bro. And it's just way too many options. I saw somebody on social media mention this. Forgot to do name, but it's just way too many options. And hell, I mentioned this before. It's just like, hey man, Paw, or grandpa, grandma, they made it so long. They did their thing, married for X amount of years. Woo woo. Grandpa was still stepping out, most likely. He was still probably doing his thing. But they're still together. They held it down. Woo, woo, woo. But it was all I mean, that doesn't make it right, but it was functional and there were homes. But if Paul had the damn Instagram feeds with women showing off their doubloons, he would have been losing his brain. And then your grandma, you know what I'm saying, who holds it down, all that stuff, he ain't got time for what's that, Shirley no more. And so he's moving on because he see Betsy over there and she got the new enhancements. And on top of that, bro, she sent me DMs, you know what I'm saying, with her chastity belt off. So people would have been going hammer back then, like what's going on now. These phones or social experiments have really changed the trajectory of how humans cohabitate.
Yes.
And so what's going on here is this Miss Bündchen she's a representation of a lot of options because she's a Brazilian model, supermodel, who's a billionaire or whatever, a billionaire family or whatever. So she's got options and she exercises them. So the same thing goes with this girl who, with the advent of Facebook and stuff like that, still got her high school, middle school dude that she miss or whatever, whoop de whoop, or the guy from college, or whatever dude that's one phone call away. And I mentioned this before on another thing. I've been the one phone call away guy before.
I have too. Yep.
Yeah. I'm one phone call. I'm gone for 4 months. Not a text, not nothing. But when she put the bat signal up, yeah, bro, I got my grappling hook. I'm swinging from rooftop to rooftop. I'm over there, lickety split. I'm out of there. I don't even spend the night. And this is what's going on everywhere. So my whole thing is that when you got this madness going on nowadays, trust is one of the it is the honestly, to me, in any relationship, right, at this point, trust is like the big thing floating over everybody. Are you gonna stab me in the back? You gonna stab me in the back? I don't really trust you. I don't really trust you either. It's these shadowy things going on with people. Nobody trusts nobody. So in turn, it gives them the excuse to do whatever the fuck they want. And people get married under those conditions. That's why divorce rates are that's what's going on right now. So Gisele, she represents a woman with a lot of options, but she doesn't have, the everyday woman doesn't have the Gisele Bündchen, options, but she's got a lot of options in her phone, dating back from middle, high school, college, work, last job, and options are there. You act funny, she's gone for 2 days. You don't know where she went. You know where she went. So yeah, man, this is the way of the world. And it even happened. Yeah, it even happened to, like we said, bro, Captain America, bro. Football Jesus. They can't get enough of this man, and it still happens. So yeah, guys, just put your precautions in place, man. As you mentioned, JV, bro. If you've got standards, bro, stand on them. If she don't know what your respect boundaries are, that's fine. Draw them out for her. You know what I'm saying? If it's a trial by error thing, all right, well, here it is right now. Now you know. I wasn't born yesterday. Please don't try me. And
Yeah.
if they try it, she for the street.
Yeah. I it is. I really do believe that it's because of things like this that uh um, things like polyamorous relationships have been on the rise, because
Hmm.
really what all a polyamorous relationship is I want to be able to benefit from the structuralized idea of belonging to a relationship. However, I still am able to do whatever I want.
Right.
And that's all it is all it is a roundabout way to put a proper label on one's opportunity to do whatever they want, despite the fact that they claim to be a part of a relationship. Because
Right.
the idea is, if everyone is on the lookout for the next opportunity, or if everyone has all of these options, and so therefore there is no sanctity in it, then how can I emotionally guard myself against the inevitable fallout? Well, let's be polyamory, so that, hey, if anything goes left, I already have my other boyfriends and girlfriends anyway. So who gives a
Correct.
shit? Like,
Correct.
that's the only reason why these things are even on the rise, is because everything is in a state of chaos. But the world likes it this way, apparently. So it is what it is. I guess we just got to live with it. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just think that respect is a huge thing, and boundaries have to be respected. It
Yep.
does not make a man insecure if he has a preference for his lady to not have a male trainer. I don't see what the problem with that is. And like, all things considered fair or equal, if you want to run out there and get you a male trainer, then can I go out there and get me a badass female trainer? Can I? Because if you can do that and I can do that, even though there ain't
Uh,
gonna be no trust, that's the only way that it's going to be remotely sustainable, is if it's equitable. But we all know it cannot be equitable. So I don't know. It's interesting, but it sucks, man. But it happened to Brady. It can happen to anybody. And at the end of the day, I don't think that it's a shot across the bow for any guy to be like, male trainers, that might be a little bit beyond my level of comfort. But in today's world, that's going to be misconstrued as a man being controlling or insecure or any of these other buzzwords that get thrown around all the time, unfortunately.
mhm. Pig. That's what you are.
Yeah. I know one thing. I can't. I know I couldn't have a female trainer if I was with a girl. She'd be like, "No." I remember one time, real quick. I was in the gym. This girl comes up to me asking me workout tips. Literally benign as ever. I was just giving her workout tips, and I was like touching, because she wanted to ask about the back, right? Because I was doing a back workout, and so she was asking me questions because my back is not too bad. So I'm kind of giving her little tips, and uh you know my girl, just at the time, she just wasn't having it. She wasn't having it. Well, it's not that she wasn't having it, but we had a constructive conversation afterwards, and
Oh,
she was
wait,
like,
wait,
well, women, what
wait.
do you
Was
what?
your girl there?
Yeah, she was in the gym at the time. Yeah.
Did she
Right.
did that?
Yeah.
Was she next to you? Girls next to you?
The girl who was asking me for the tips.
No, no, no. Your girl was
Well,
your
she
girl.
was not next to me,
Oh,
no,
okay, okay.
but
I'm
she
about to
was
say that's a
watching.
really bad. I'm about to say,
She
bro,
was
what you
watching.
doing?
So but in my mind, I'm doing the same thing they do,
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
like, "Oh, he's just my trainer. It's not a big deal. What's the big deal?" So I was like, I was just giving her tips. What's the big deal? It's not a big deal. They do the same thing. So I was giving her tips, and we had a lively conversation afterwards. And my point behind it was, what's the difference between that and when you tell me that you get free food whenever you go to breakfast every
Up,
morning,
up,
from the guy who's the guy
up.
who's the cook in the kitchen? You tell me every other day that this guy walks out of the kitchen to hand deliver you food that he doesn't even make you pay for. You don't think that guy wants you? And and mind you, she told me these things on a regular basis. This guy came into the office and he bought me a bottle of wine. How nice. This guy never charges me for breakfast when I go to get my breakfast and my coffee. He's such a nice guy. This guy brought me gourmet popcorn. What a nice guy. And I'm like, oh, they brought you all of that and they're just nice guys, huh? but I can't give out training tips without getting scolded. What's the difference? It's a clear double standard. But the world operates on double standards that in certain ways benefit women in a lot of regards.
So that's the play, huh? That's what I gotta do. I gotta get some popcorn, some flavor of popcorn. That's the play.
Yeah, bring her flavor popcorn and just check in once every couple weeks. Check in once every couple weeks and see where it
Boy,
takes you.
y'all something else, boy. Y'all, I was saying, bro. And this is the last thing I'll say. If and when, you know what I'm saying, I have to have a conversation about respect, I don't judge the dudes at all. That's how far I just throw them away. They're going to do that. There's no, like you said, there's no code. I know they're going to do that. So whenever they do that, my issue isn't with them no more. So that's why I try to have the conversations in-house and lay the lines down here. And yeah, I got a pretty good imagination. So I'm drawing lines that you haven't even seen yet. Just so we don't have to do the, I ain't know that. Yeah. Now you know. But yeah, man, it's wild stuff. But I let the dudes in the streets have it. They're animals. So when animals do what animals do, I don't blame them. It was me for dealing with the girl who went for that or whatever. But I let the dudes have it because I already know those guys. Boy, the nerve of those people bringing her food.
Yeah, like he wouldn't take advantage of that if he had the opportunity. It's ridiculous, but these are real conversations that I've had with women before, and it just kind of shows you the thought process with some people. It really is. It's very fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah.